seeing FlyQuest play so split up, it's basically stopping any sort of dive follow-up that they want to go for.
Absolutely. Now, as we continue to find what they can do on this defensive approach, only 1 minute and 7 seconds is not a lot of time to make up the difference. They committed so much on that last push. Akushi can be closer to the dance of the butterflies to get something opened up. There's the neutral pick on no bind. He's going to come back for another push, but at least gives them a little space to push it forward. Oh boy, Juicy's going to be in a tough position. He does kill the threat away. Going to try to go for the execution here. Does find himself a low lyric. Can he get the exclamation? Yes, Melio finds the ending of that. And here comes Nobites right back into it as a Venom. They're going to have to win this fight perfectly, and it's not going to start out well with 2 going down, Vicky.
Susie doing the rest, trying to go in with the dance of the butterflies here. FlyQuest have lost out on 2, and Cafe Rose are trying to at least recontest here as Lyric coming into the spawn room gates finds a quick little heady onto Tusi. The Death is able to just float away from Ken. He will have the H-Jeff soon because you're down to less than 20 seconds on the clock for FlyQuest to try to recontest.
Fly, the mental, you got to pull it all together here. Ken does have a huge opening. He's gotten 2 in the past. They've got to follow up on this perfect. Find respect or Zanji. Pro building still pretty far away from the res, so this is your opening. 5-6 seconds left. They're about to go and dive and touch. Gonna go ahead and have Jolly probably leave that first hit in. There it goes, and everybody's collapsing. No bind, so does find Tuesday. That's gonna be a big opening for them. My gosh, Cafe Rose showing why they deserve to be on the biggest stage of Marvel Rivals. 1, 2 down. It's overtime ticking. The hold is done. Cafe Rose, what is happening?
I hope you're hungry, Cozy, because Cafe Rose just stops FlyQuest from getting to that first checkpoint. Stop them entirely from being able to get anything done with what? Psylocke Protect? I mean, unfortunately for Tuesday, I'm sorry, we got to talk about it, but that Psylocke was not working out. Maybe you'll get like 1 or 2 raw picks here, but the strategist line from Cafe Rose were getting protected so well, not only from Shanji. Pixel was very accurate with putting them to sleep as well as Lyric. He said, what are you waving at? He was waving at nothing until he came back from the spawn room gates, and then you see 2 members of FlyQuest just coming around the back end in front of him, and then he could get another 4 stagger.
Predictions are in shambles over here as we find ourselves at the brink of a 2-0, but not in the team you might think it would be. And again, I'm watching what I could only call like Doom match right now from FlyQuest. It's like you have all this talent. They're all doing their own thing, but not as one cohesive unit, and especially in this meta, it is so important. Cafe Rose just playing calm, cool, collected. They're not identifying the threats that need to go first, and it is happening each and every single match here in or fight as they continue to go on. FlyQuest would have to have a legendary Helm's Deep worth of a defense, or this is going to end quick.
In 5, 4, 3.
This is a really tough situation to be in. Hailing Fear from FlyQuest now being on the defense. See if anything changes, because a big focus has got to be on Sanji. You got to prevent Pro Builder from being able to get set up here, especially when you're calling out when he's using these passives. He's been mixing it up here. Pick's already taking a good chunk of that damage, but so is Zelos as he's the first one out. Yes, they put No Bites to sleep, but it's already too late. Tusi had made that swap over to Namor to try.
From Cafe Rose in the MRT, but obviously a much different scene against this competition. Lyric, though, and Zanji find both strategists. Good night. Go to bed. FlyQuest making them the side quest. They continue up Main Street, Vicky.
There's no way.
2 Vanguards and 1
all the way back to the spawn room gates here. FlyQuest, nobody in sight, and Best can't swap. He has the ultimate. So, I mean, somebody needs to try to recontest if they want to burn a portal, but they're looking to see if they can get out of this choke right now. Cafe Rose are looking to get set up.
No fly zone is what they're setting up in every which way. Pixel.
Oh no.
Jolly, and that is it, folks. My goodness, can you believe your eyes? The team that most of us had as the team that would have the most ahead of them, the biggest challenge to climb, not only just the mountain, but the Mount Everest, easily conquer that mountain, taking down FlyQuest 2-0.
Cozy, get ready, because they did it, and Shenji is your MVP. This Namor was popping off. I mean, he'll definitely be able to do it in style in the future with that new skin, by the way, as you get to take a look at 13. Oh, he did not go down a single time. With 6 final hits, I mean, it comes to show you, like, you look on the other side, what's the problem here for FlyQuest? Well, they couldn't get these raw picks, right? Like, they were constantly getting shut down. Talking about Tusi specifically, who was on the side lock. They burned a protect on the side lock for them to not being able to even use it.
For me, this is the biggest opening. I think this is the storyline here. With Tree out and Sticky out, these are two players that
thanks
play
for the follow,
Spider-Man,
Besu
Elsa.
Stone.
They're playing different comps altogether. Where the heck has Zanji been? Because they found this pickup, and I think a lot of people
went
assumed
6-1. He
that
didn't
when
die
they
a
picked
single
up two
time,
new players,
13-0.
you downgrade, right? Like, typically that happens. You've been playing with this team for so
And the other one was running Jeff.
long, and you have to quickly fill. And that's why we all had them ranked where they were at. But not only that, let me paint this picture to...
Why is it so bad though? On YouTube, it just gets like this. Maybe I hop on Twitch is better.
All of you that are watching, again, the Marvel Rival Challenge.
Let me see that. Oh man, this is.
This is what I would not have any.
Yeah, I think it's. As a matter of fact, it's YouTube doing it.
Back of what you just said, Cozy, you're adding 2 new pieces. You expect them to come out on the other side worse, or at least have an adjustment period where, like, they're trying to figure it out. It really just felt like FlyQuest is the team which is trying to mesh their pieces together. It felt.
What happened to FlyQuest? They've always been good
like,
about it.
The coordination was just not really there.
And
whereas
they should
Cafe
start
Rose,
running
they were
support,
so
man. That's
confident.
not
The
doing it
way
for
in
anybody
which
anymore.
They have closed out this
They're
last
not
map.
doing the damage.
That was dominant. No one would have seen that coming.
I've never been more pumped for what is going to be a winner's interview coming up, because this is what Rivals is all about. This is why the MRC exists. You go from the couch to the dream. You say, hey, I think I can play this game pretty well. You put the team together, and now building up to millions of dollars in prize pools, up to what we have even today in the preseason. You put it to the test, and yes, it's just one match. They've got round robin, but this is the confidence. This is quite literally the spark, right, that they need to ignite what this team can continue to do. Vicky, I mean, I had FlyQuest at 5 for a reason. You know, this is what I was afraid I might see, but apparently I had them somehow too high, at least in this opening play.
I mean, you and I are on the same wavelength, I think, because I also have him in number 5. So you know what? Now you get to toss that in the bin. So he's got to start taking out her headphones as well. And I want to honestly.
Oh no, that's true.
Real.
Am I getting replacement
Yeah.
headphones? Because you're supposed to eat these.
Yep, yeah. I know. I think
Sorry,
I said I was
Cozy.
going to eat, like, Ship's mic, your headphones. I got a lot of eating to do because I am, and listen, happily, because I'm just blown away. And what's crazy about it, too, is Zanji, you know, we said them and Pro Builder, you know, obviously coming from kind of out of nowhere. They also were in the MRC for Extinction, right? So they did have some competition they played against, and they obviously identified those players as someone they wanted to add to their team. They're the perfect fit. I think what shocks me about it more is that they had Spider-Man players with Elsa, and we saw nothing like it. Not only that, Pro Builder picked up the Adam Warlock that Sticky used to play for that team. FlyQuest, they got to go back quickly to the drawing board and find out what happened.
Cafe Rose really just had a very clear idea of what they want to play. They stuck to that triple strategist. And also, like, again, the picky ban phase, like, they identified the threat on the other side. Melio's Daredevil was taken out of the mix. Like, they just felt so prepared. Like, I'm actually really baffled.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think a lot of what the staple was for that team.
I was rooting
that
for
you
SideQuest,
had
actually.
The opening
I don't like
pick
the guys.
typically happened pretty fast there from the
Came out of
I think we
nowhere.
shouted them out even in the mid-match, Vicky, that no binds kind of shocked me there. Jolly was the weak point that I kind of pointed out in FlyQuest, and no binds did a lot, a ton of what I was expecting on the opposition side. Again, it just felt like everybody was doing something, but not all together as one.
Yeah, because honestly, okay, you look at the other side of the coin, Sanji was just him. He was just him. He was the one that was able to dictate and made sure that the Daredevil wasn't a problem. When they saw that there was going to be a protect on the other side of the Daredevil, okay, you roll out with Namor. But my question is, FlyQuest banning Jeff very last was a choice, because we see it from their side. Yeah, they like to do the Jeff. But from the other side, we saw Cafe Rose, they were really leaning into that Mantis, Invisible Woman, Adam Warlock, Like, and like you mentioned too, Pro Builder really stepping up.
Yeah, honestly, I think it could just be summed up to teamwork. I mean, I think, and I know, you know, you can say it sounds corny, whatever you want to say, but that's truly the big difference. I think FlyQuest, even in that domination, they were like, we played well. I don't think we need to fix too much of what we did in the pick ban phase. Let's just do what we do great over here. And these players are going to be around for a while. We're going to see a lot of FlyQuest. But at least in this opening matchup, they were the last roster to be announced, right? I mean, like a lot of these things, that's why they were the newest kind of team to come into the limelight here. So Cafe Rose, got to give props out, especially to whoever is putting this team together more and more to find the additions from Extinction like they did. They're cooking.
And I mean, in a round-robin scenario where the bottom two teams are not going to make the cut into the playoffs, a victory against a team that is finding themselves somewhere in the middle, like that's the wins you need to get. You're not expected to win against the top dogs, but if you can like edge out those little victories over the span of these 2 weeks of play, you will find yourself in the playoffs.
Yeah, without question. I mean, listen, with what they have coming ahead of them, I think that they stuck to a very solid game plan. They didn't try to do anything too fancy. Obviously, now the homework is out a little bit. I do think Pro Builder is going to be a big focus point for them. Maybe ban that. The Venom is banned. I mean, the Venom is a big focus too, because I kind of said that's the anchor of that dive, right? You open up the Jeff symbiotic shenanigans, but also just what he can offer in this new meta. That's going to be your ticket to success against Cafe Rose. We'll see if other teams pick up on it. But I can tell you what, coaches may have taken a light day when they were like, oh, we're up against them. Not anymore. They're going to be doing their homework, ladies.
Oh man, I can't believe what we're already saying, guys. Like the fact that you already open up like this, I want to hear more thoughts from the players of Cafe Rose too, because imagine being a player from Cafe Rose and looking at the predictions, right? Like I would be that type of player to be like, all right, like remember, I note that, bookmark that. I'll use this in the future to see where we stand in the seedings. But now you look at the way you open up the show already, and that's also, it's difficult
Oh, yes, the
if you're
first
looking at
American
FlyQuest with the
match.
foundation crumbling with, you know, again, we were talking about ping earlier, we're talking about a new build of this entire roster, but now you have to give credit where it's due. Cafe Rose, Cozy, you talked about what we witnessed in the MRC. They saw what happened in the finals of the MRC. They said, how long was that? That was 24 minutes for 4 games? Write that down right now. We're going to take some notes. And they wanted to be able to get that sweep. The fact that we saw it in a 2-0 fashion, too, by the way, was a cherry on top.
It really was. I mean, honestly though, if all predictions are stacked against me, I personally, I'm fueled by that kind of scenario, right? Like I love coming in as the underdog. I love when people are betting against me. I think a lot of people are rather players, not like they're not people, but a lot of players, they're thriving in that kind of position.
Any given day, any team can win. That's what makes it so great, and especially in the America region. I mean, even if you go back to the last couple of stages, you had not busy at work. We had Techie XD. Remember that? They kind of did their run that no one thought was going to come from them. There's always seeming to be one underdog or sleeper team that says, hey, we've got the team that can put it together. And it's just not only that. We talked about this as the group of death for a reason, right? And they're kind of, they've got their one check mark on. Man, if Cafe Rose was in Group B, I'd give him even a bigger chance to continue to thrive through this whole thing, right? So we'll continue to see what they put together as a team, as a unit. Again, bringing it to FlyQuest as well. This is a team that has so much for them and with them. This doesn't define them. I mean, heck, we saw what they did in a huge lower bracket run after they lost. They're not new to this somehow in the Ignite scene, Vicky, as we saw. They were the favorites going into that when they lost it back in Stage 1. So we continue to see kind of this org and this team adjust.
Yeah, I'm wondering actually here, Zoe, we're talking about like Jolly specifically being kind of like that player that may need to like make those adjustments. What do you think again in general, like when you talk about like just not being able to get these follow-ups if you want to go in with Melio and not having that success? They have another opportunity obviously going into these next 2 days, but you only have so much time.
Yeah, I mean, for them, like tomorrow already they have to face up against Sentinels. There's another roster that we have a lot of questions for, right? So
I don't know about Sentinels, man. They switch
get
their team
so
composition all the time.
Have to be made
Every time they
really,
lose,
really
they switch
quickly.
somebody.
And I do really feel like that was the
That's
game
why
plan
I
was
stopped
just
liking them.
disconnected.
They
I
don't
know,
have that
like, I
whatchamacallit?
don't know really where it fell apart. They will be
Camaraderie.
the only ones really knowing that.
They don't
But,
build it.
Yeah, like I don't know. This could be a really rough start for FlyQuest this first
I think
week
FlyQuest got
of
that one.
play.
They can't come back.
They're coming in with a lot to prove. They had a great finish to their run in 2025. So like they ended on that high note. They had that third place finisher in stage 2 in the grand finals. So the Orc has a lot to prove. This is going to be tough. There's going to be a lot of pressure in that next upcoming match. But here we do in fact have our player ready now for our post-match interview.
Excited here. Finally, we get to talk to one of the players from Cafe Rose, and it's No Binds.
That boy playing in a cafe too.
No Binds. Congratulations, my man, to just open this whole thing up in the middle of the match. I shouted you out. I'm like, this man is getting work done as Venom. Tell me, how do you kind of, honestly, you shocked everybody's expectations taking down the org of FlyQuest, not just winning, but 2-0 and looking dominant. Explain to me, behind the scenes, you're coming to this team new. What is the vibe of Cafe Rose and this new upcoming team?
I mean, vibes are great. We did unfortunately have to lose 2 of our DPS players due to age restrictions, but you know, we picked up 2 great DPS from the Team Extinction, Proboter, Zanji, you know, we instantly clicked with them. Vibes were great, you know, we're popping off in scrim, so we had to lock them in instantly, you know. Coming into this match, you know, we're hyped, we're ready, we love being the underdogs. Like, it's such a great feeling when everyone's doubting you. You know, you're looking on Twitter, you're seeing like all the tier lists, like, oh, Cafe Rose, that's it, Cafe Rose is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We're gonna go crazy. Yeah, no.
I love that.
Dude, okay, I'm sorry, cuz I just gotta say, first off, I want to know where you're at, man. Like, what basement are you in right now? Are you okay? You safe? Blink if you need help. But I'm also gonna assume, like, yeah, right. Like, you guys got the strats.
Listen, I'm kind of homeless, but like, you know, we're gonna make it out the mud. It's gonna be okay, you know. Gonna make it through the Ignite scene, but you know, I mean, strats going into it, you know, just run it down main, just beat the other team. Only strats we got for real.
Just beat the other team. Do you have a good idea of what to expect from the respective teams? You do have Swamp Gaming, I believe, coming up next. Have you been able to scrim against all of the teams yet? Like, what's your read? Where do you see you currently standing?
We've been scrimming a lot of the Ignite teams, you know. We've been doing our thing, you know. Some teams winning, some teams losing. I think we have a really good chance against all the teams, really. Like, I know we're still a big underdog team, but I really think, you know, if we just put our heads down, hustle and grind, you know, get our reps in, we can make stuff happen.
I mean, you certainly are on the right trajectory. What a great statement opening match. Thank you so much for joining us for a quick chat, and best of luck in tomorrow's match.
Of course. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Pop off, King. That was awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah, that is No Binds, everyone, from Cafe Rose. Make sure to head on socials and share the love with the players. What a fantastic first look at that squad, which, I mean, he said it, right? Like, he loves being the underdog. It's a great position to be in when there is no expectations, no pressure. You can just prove the haters wrong.
Listen, this is what it's all about for me, personally. I think it's just awesome to see these guys that are young, they're hungry. I can tell you, every interview that I had with underdog teams were always way more exciting because they're thirsty, they're hungry, they're ready. And it's just a great way to start things off in what is an unpredictable season. I'm telling y'all, not only with this meta, but with roster mania outside of a couple of teams. One thing that I looked for when I was looking at my predictions, and I kind of kept humming, is you can be the hot, heavy, flashy team, but it's more about consistency and being there, done that before. We only have a couple teams returning with squads mainly from what they've had before. And we saw it right then, man. It matters.
Indeed. Now, that was just
Indeed.
one of overall 5 matches. We're in for a treat today. TSM and Space Station Gaming are
5?
coming up next on the other side of this.
How long? Oh, 10 minutes. I guess I can do. Let's go. Oh, you can just watch it through here? It's actually kind of. You can play while you watch. 10 minutes. I can get 2 of these in. I need to do these missions so I can get enough to complete the battle pass. I think gotta be a heal bot though. Let's go with this.
Agent F1. I'm going in.
Her accent is kind of like different.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Only one team wins this. Try to make it yours.
Watch how the white fox works. I grew up without a community. Tiger Division has become my home.
I got one.
One hostile threat. Thanks for the boost. Just in time. Thanks. Back in the hunt. So wait. My spirit stays. Turning up the heat. One hot fun.
There's so many people, it's insane.
Back to the fight.
Just in time. Thanks.
Charge. Fire.
I've survived so much worse. My spirit steadies.
Feel the wrath of the goddess.
Shoutout Shigon. Okay, now the claws come out. Go. Nicely. What's fun?
Judge, jury.
You got owned, bro.
The moon haunts you. Never miss.
The damn lag.
Never miss.
The hunt resumes. Limbo stands with you. Roll it.
That healing feeling.
Back in the hunt.
Typical outbreaker. Someone's in my head.
Forget.
I am finished.
So wait.
The wrath of the goddess.
Your team is close to winning.
Look, it's annoying thing.
The moon haunts you.
Okay, now the claws come out. Spirit steady. Thanks.
I can't even move. 800. Like, how is that even possible?
Spirit steady.
The moon haunts you. Pulse charge. Fire. What happens when you pick
Us against the world. My spirit pulls me back to battle.
conquered?
Another epic victory. Thank
Nobody has said a single word. So what the hell is going on with this connection? Like, seriously. I don't get it. Isashubiri-da-na.
Agent F1.
Suha-ha-ha-ha.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Only one team wins this. Try to make it yours.
The hunt
Isashubiri-da-na.
begins. Director Valkyrie's finest. Support. Let's make this quick and clean.
He did it way before I even knew. This damn pain is so bad.
Feeling stronger already. Okay, now the claws come out.
I can't do anything because I can't move. I can't play this. Damn, this thing is unplayable. Holy sheesh. Oh, it's back now.
Hello and welcome one and all. We are getting ready for our second match of the day. We started things off with a banger of a series with an upset. Cafe Rose coming on top over FlyQuest. I'm pretty sure all predictions are up in flames. Let's see if we can continue on this trajectory. TSM and Space Station Gaming are the next match. Now, this is the first foray into Marvel Rivals for both of these orgs that are very well known in esports. Now, the big question is, who put together a roster that can mingle with the top?
No, absolutely. I just took all my notes, and what I did in the break is just burn them all, because it doesn't matter after Cafe Rose really set the stage, the expectations. But yeah, we have another great match here with TSM, Space Station Gaming. I think for me, this is going to be such a big match to kind of set the stage of who should, and listen, I'm not predicting anything after what just happened, but this is kind of the second, third, fourth spot, and I want to see where these teams stack up. I think there are a lot of believers in Space Station Gaming and the roster that they put together, and TSM being the more seasoned team that been in stage 1 and 2. What does that look like? Because if anything has told us from just the history of the one match, is the team with the more kind of synergy and that's been together has the upper leg. Vicky, this is a good one.
Yeah. I think the big question too is, Cozy, if you look at TSM, a lot of people look at these individual players and you look at the history of what they've been able to roll out with, and you look at the meta. Is the flexibility there? That was always the question when we saw a lot of the former players of TSM that, you know, were together on other teams before. But it's about the flexibility going into this current meta. Obviously, map is very, very important too. You take a look at Gale and Crew from that team specifically. How are they able to play to their strengths, especially when it comes to the Angela that I'm probably expecting to see rolling out from that team. And then you look at Space Station Gaming, a team that I feel like everyone... Where do you fit these two teams specifically, right? I'm on the same boat, by the way, where I had Space Station in that 4th place spot and TSM more in that 5th place spot, but I feel like TSM has a lot to prove, especially looking at a lot of the naysayers on the bottom end of things. I'm excited to see how this is going to go down, because it also depends on that back line, too, and how long they can stay alive with Dive being in the meta.
Yeah, I mean, Cozy, you just give me the biggest grin there. I know you had TSM in your top 3. Like, you believe in this team. There's a lot of pre-existing synergy, of course. Former Rad Esports, Solaris, like Decora has been together for a long time.
Yeah, I feel like one of the few defenders of this team. I think obviously the group they're in does help them a lot, but listen, when they were Solaris way back in the day, they were looking great back then, had a tough draw. And this is a team that I think definitely have the talent, and they've proved to be able to play together. Not to mention, they've added Cal, who was with Envy, which is a great pick, especially with him playing the strategist role.